Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Plight of Princes, where we definitely weren't delaying because we were just making "You gon' feel the wrath of my stick" jokes.
Look at that stick.
Where last our bunch of miscreants left off, somebody's gonna have to tell us what happened. So let's see. How about the ever faithful Krauser?
You know what?
What
That's not
happened?
the right epithet.
That's definitely not
Alright.
everything anyone's ever said about me. What happened? We
Sorry, what's an epithet?
arrived on the outskirts of Port Lost, killed a big fucking symbiote. It's gonna be a real short
English
version.
majors.
We killed the symbiote. We went to Port Lost, and people got drunk.
People began to get drunk.
Began the process of getting drunk.
Yes, you aided Gregor in a combat against a individual versus Gronk the Harvester, which, when you completed, Baron Carl Tucker appeared from Port Lost. We're going to ask you what's happening around here with all this nonsense. You were then insisted to go to the city because you would probably be questioned at a later date due to everything that could have happened. After which, you went into town, stumbled about for about 2 hours looking for a tavern, struggled. You then found a guardsman who suggested going to the Fishmonger and the Gladiator, which, upon arrival at, you saw the interior was designed like some form of lovely, like, kind of Romanesque, almost Greekan kind of interior of stonework, and then portions of it were supplemented with wood carvings. And from there, whilst most of the people began to rest, Posey and Kika went off and had a lovely one-to-one, which was babies being babies, which is always adorable. Best friends, no matter what characters they play. They could literally play Vecna and the antithesis of Vecna, and they will still be BFFs.
I tried to play a character that hated Blue's character and it just
It
didn't,
work. It didn't work.
We just have too good chemistry together. It just fine.
You just do the mingle.
I'm letting my chemistry teach down because I can't remember the name of ions that like naturally want to bond. A-level chemistry.
This is a
Failed.
very nerdy
Yeah.
session. We already had some fucking
Got
classes.
kicked out of A-levels. Woo!
Never even got in. Hey. Anyway, when you miscreants arrived back, the wounded but slowly recovering Gregor from the inside of the cart that you had brought to the city insisted Posey speak with him outside. Whilst I just love watching
Oh
Pearl's
yeah, that
mouth.
bit.
Oh yeah, that happened.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that bit.
And from there, we will take it back up. So, Kika, you were just told to go inside, whilst Posey walked towards Gregor.
Bye.
From inside, you can already begin hearing that your brother and the flamboyant Loyalty are already more or less tuning up the band, which is more a case of him preparing his throat while Lo begins tapping in place. Just
No, it's 3/4 time, not 4 times. 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, tap tap tap.
and it's him looking at her. I don't even want to care, but I feel like I should, but I don't want to, so here we are. Now, where the devil did I leave that? There it is.
Look, just jam out, okay, and I'll rock to it. Okay?
Okay.
We're
So
good.
while you two are doing that, how about I get a performance check off of you and him?
Ooh. Does this mean I get it with advantage because he's aiding?
Sure, you can make the roll and we'll say that he's assisting you.
Uh,
Meanwhile, I will make sure
I-
you guys are all on the map for Port Lost.
Da-da-da.
um,
You
I
are
believe-
currently, anyone who's looking, up here.
I believe I get to use a jack of all trades on this now because of bard level 2.
If you're not proficient with it, you do.
Right.
If you're proficient or expertise with it, you use that instead.
Again, I can't get my microphone in close to my mouth.
Whoop.
You have advantage.
Right.
Also, Blue, it's covalent. I think.
That's more
I'm
like
sorry,
it.
what?
Nothing.
Much better.
Chemistry.
Oh, covalent bonds!
I can't see using D&D.
Covalent
Mitochondria is the
bonds!
powerhouse of the cell. That's chemistry, right?
Together, we have one brain.
Da-da-da!
For some reason, I should be using it, but I don't.
Don't mention mitochondria. Again, flashbacks to a board game.
Ionic, covalent, and metallic bonds. Right.
Guys, we can't do this right now.
Sorry!
Rein this back in. Rein this back in.
Vita make stuff.
While King is down sketching out all these scientific facts to themselves.
Today on D&D, covalent bonding.
Covalent
Kind of that
bond.
could have been a what happened to King and the other person. Just
Surprise! You thought this was a D&D science session.
Wrong.
Surprise! Science lecture.
I don't care what else happens from here, this session is being called covalent bonding.
So, but I'm not like,
you might be able to call it natural chemistry later, but we'll see. So what happens, Loyalty, is you begin dancing, but your music and his tune, or your dance and his tune, just don't sync. But he really quickly just flips it back around to crack in with you, and you two begin going. And there isn't a crowd around you, but anyone who's at a table is just very quickly, just from just the slight annoyance to just even the drunkards to that little bit of a head bob. Okay. So, Kika, you're coming in as they've just began setting up their dance. You can see that there are several of your friends all gathered up around a table.
And I would just scooch over to the people I know.
You do quickly, yes. So I imagine some people have. Oh yes, KR had made sure that food for you and Posey was kept, and there is some there.
look at my hairy arm.
Kika makes sure that Posey's food is kept for her.
You keep it next to you while it happens.
The maids give Kika her food.
Thank you.
The only dwarf currently, Ollie, is not in that gift, but is in the bar. Working behind it is this old, kind of grey to ginger, big, thick bearded, with a large, thick beard that goes over the mouth and chin down to maybe halfway down the chest. But at the center point of it, there's a braid in it that goes down with a little bit of a jingle halfway down. Then just a small bit of gold attachments. And he's currently serving and treating people as they come in. And from the back, then you begin hearing very loud, heavy stomps as stepping out. You see one of the proprietors of the Gladiator and the Fishmonger. The one you can presume is is probably the Gladiator, is Sharog. You just see this enormous half-orc woman. Very large muscled arms and, very obvious tan lines around the shirt and top. Is wearing this kind of tank top thing with the apron over it. And you can see that there's a small pouch at the top left of the breast where there's something kept in there. And she comes out, she's currently setting out a plate onto the table, and Iran signals for whoever's plate it was to come up, and one of the patrons goes over and grabs it and leaves in. She's probably about 6'4", big bulky girl. Looks around at the newcomers that are all there. You guys are a ways off at your tables and everything else, and she gets out a large ledger that it seemed that Iran had worked in previously. This was what he used to cover your stayings for the night, because you guys are sharing. There's 2 people to a room tonight, and some people are tripling it and all this kind of thing. We've previously established that. She just reaches into that little breast pocket, pulls out these glasses that for a normal person look like a decent size, but they just barely fit over the ears, as she just begins going over the ledger. So, be amongst yourselves, you little fuckers. The
I'm
bard,
dancing.
the bards are up dancing. Runara, Wittig, that's your cue, bitches.
As Kika retracts into feathers.
Just sitting there,
Tumbleweed.
kick myself.
I'm gonna have a look. I'm gonna have a look at the home brews they have here.
They have Blood Hunter. They have.
I hate you so much. He's looking for the IPA homebrews, you know.
Hell yeah!
Oh,
So
it's
come on,
that
come on,
kind
Das.
of
What they
pub.
got? What they got, Das? Come on.
It's a gastropub.
I'm gonna steal something from an old friend of mine, Chris. They have what's called forget-me-nots.
Oh fuck.
Forget me nots.
Yeah. It's served like a Long Island iced tea, like this kind of long thing, but it's goes from like this deep mud brown up to like very like fermented green at the top. And it's meant to help those who want to forget briefly.
Absinthe.
Ah,
Make a con check, see if you remember what happened in the last hour.
Wait, what? I didn't say I was gonna order it yet.
He's just.
I'm just letting you know what's going to
That's
happen
what
if
will
you.
happen.
That's what will happen.
Is there anyone playing cards or that inside of the establishment?
We'll say that there is at least there's one table that is definitely a few very old humans that are just grizzled, gray, like kind of curled beards to the face, the kind of cap that's only like covering over half the face that leans towards the back. Very much so to themselves in their game though, and there's about 4 or 5 of them. The pot has not been raised the entire hour or so that you're already in there. Like they've just been staring at each other more or less for the last hour.
I'm gonna walk over. Hello, gentlemen. I see you're having a lovely game of
Poker.
poker. May I join? And I'm gonna take out the money I have, which is I'm gonna take out maybe like 20 silver. I'm just gonna drop it on the table.
To look down at the silver, 20 silver. Look at the 30 gold they have in the pot and go, that's not enough for a buy-in, and this is a private thing. Fuck off. And they just crouch back to themselves, back in their card game, seeming to
I
have
pull
no
out
interest.
10 golds as well and drop that down. How
Make a
about that?
persuasion check.
And here's where all they lose is all of his money.
Oh dear.
Wow,
You're
we're
not
rolling
sure-
real well tonight, huh?
You're not
2-1
sure-
already, and there's only
Yeah.
3 rolls.
You're not sure if it's the way you just slammed down heavily, or it's just like the way that you kind of almost got in his face and you said, how about now? But something about what you're saying has irked him, and all 4 of them have just covered their cards, put them facing down, and they're just glaring at you to leave.
I will get up from my seat, walk over. Sorry about my friend. He's an idiot. Grab his gold, put it back in his bag, and then drag him back over to our table.
Catch you later, guys. I'll be back in a bit. Trust me. Keep the cards warm.
Almost like automation, the moment that he's out of a certain radius, they just reach back out the cards, and they all just go back staring at each other.
For a robot, you are not very fun.
I'm made of metal and wood. When did you think I was made of fun?
I know. We had a great time drinking before.
You had a great time drinking. I was following you and making sure that you didn't cause damage.
I saw you smile when you were riding me, I think.
If we can take out his arms, it lowers his accuracy.
I'm about to!
it does lower his accuracy. Yeah.
That was the best.
Wonderful. very good timing.
Anyway,
He's hunting things.
yeah, no shit.
Noted.
But there you go.
It's just background chatter in the bar, okay?
See, our guy over there understands.
He's eating an egg mayo sandwich on the side, just loudly.
Fuck. I don't know where to go from that.
After about 10 or 15 minutes of you guys just being bastard men, I have to go check something.
Also,
Anything?
I would figure after I've gotten Serenus back at the fucking table and like basically explain to him there's some card games that people would like to do between their friends and don't want some random ass man just walking over going, "Hey, can I buy in?" I'd probably sit there and then talk to Renara about, fucking religion. Like, so how's your God doing?
Gods!
Yeah.
We'll
basically.
sit in.
God.
Just hanging out up there when we're in, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty chill.
Fucking, and just basically in the sense of like, how what's his like
Her.
or her? Sorry.
Don't misgender, my god.
Don't make those jokes in my house, because that's literally danger.
Yeah. But
Nice.
basically in terms of it, just asking, what am I trying to think? Like how came across, Murden and all that, and But
Yeah, we'll just have a little now.
Yeah. So you just go, gods.
God.
You just have the druid between you, just like, why? I like trees and shit. Lo,
And berries, the particularly the ones that you can brew into alcohol.
Lo, currently, like, you've been up there maybe 15, 20 minutes. There's just sweat down the side of your face as you've just been going. And after a few, every now and again, people have been coming up and more or less looking about for something to put a coin into. But you guys never set anything out.
Hang on, I might have something.
I would figure one of you would have a hat or something to put.
The NPC will not do unless the player declares.
I have an idea, which may require a roll, but I will propose it first. Lo will take out a sort of small bag of sand, which is used for writing with ink, and will suddenly sort of start spreading it over the tables and stuff, and actually starts performing like a soft shoe as he's dancing, and leaves then the bag with a flourish on the side of the
You know what?
table.
Because you're saying with the flourish and you're going all fancy, make a performance check for it.
Yeah.
Say that you're going to get another inspiration. Well, say you get inspiration off of Kairk, and he's literally just behind you, just dooting you along,
Doot.
encouraging doots.
So that will be an additional d6 then. We'll see
Basically,
what
yes.
happens. Which I will.
So 15. It's not an overly complicated move, and you do pull it off.
I'm just imagining like the Bo Burnham, whenever he's just like throws out like glitter, like not gay, and then just basically that idea. It's just
The bag is dropped down, and if you keep going for the course of the night, you'll earn yourself about 10 gold's worth. Just from dancing and tooting.
Oh shit, that's some good dancing and tooting.
Yeah.
It goes on for maybe 2 You guys take like a break at the hour point, but then you go back in again after like taking a little bit of a break with a decent applause as more people have come in over the night. At like about midnight, like a little bit later than midnight, a group of people barge in. At the front of them is a high elf. Portion of the top of her left ear has been bitten off. She's currently got a swollen left eye and blood down the cheek. As she storms in, and there's like 2 or 3 other people who also look fairly battered behind her, but all with grins on their faces. And she just looks up towards the front of the bar and just goes, "My darling, beers!" As she just like storms up, and you can see then that the orc woman comes out from the back. Then she only came out for foods. She comes out seeing this half elf who's about 5'6", 5'5", very thin, and has no weapons. But anyone looking at her can just tell that her knuckles are bloodied. And you're starting to realize that maybe the orc's the fishmonger, this is the gladiator. And the orc woman just comes around the thing with a cloth out immediately, just starts trying to wipe away the high elf's face. Just like, babe, it's alright, don't worry about it. No, you gotta take care of yourself. And just tries to like wipe off the face as they just begin serving. And this is Leokian and Sharog. I'll write those names.
Who were we told to ask for and speak to when we got here?
Sharog. So the high elf just pops herself up by the bar. She takes up like 3 different stools by just stretching her legs. But you can definitely tell that it's the energy of everyone else just moves around her and just takes up different points. A clear indication that this is something that happens a lot and you just gotta make do. But she immediately just gets a large tankard, and her hands aren't big, but she just reaches around both sides and just begins drinking. So you guys are still performing as they've come in and they're doing their bits. There's probably maybe a good 30 people in the pub now. It's almost, it's almost shoulder to shoulder. Like when people are stood up by the bar, there's plenty of activity. Plenty of people keep trying to get served. After a little while further, let's see. You guys, wait, did I just show you something? I shouldn't have showed you something. Edit.
Nothing's popped up.
No, nothing
Thank
wrong.
God. I thought I clicked show to players. I was like, don't click that button, click the edit button. One fear.
Breathe, hon.
After a while, with like a few chairs spare at your table, some people try to take them, but after several discerning glares of no, you're not allowed, they decide not to do that. But eventually, near where you're sitting, Kika, where you have that spare chair, you see a figure steps up next to you. They have this large blue cloak on, but like it covers over the head entirely, and it's got like this beautiful embezzling down the side, like kind of the embroidered down the sides of it, the parts that join together. And she just pulls the hood back a little, and you can just see this blonde hair pulling out. This younger faced woman, but she's not really making like a great deal of eye contact with you. She goes, would you mind if I sat down with you all?
I guess, sure. If you want.
It will cost
By
you a
all
drink.
means. It will cost you nothing. Ignore him.
You can see there's like a let's see, who's got the higher perception? Serenus and I think Renara have a higher perception, don't they?
Yeah.
Widdick as well. You've got a good one.
I have 15 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's higher than me.
So I'll say the three of you. Just like as you like look up at her, as you look around, you can see that her eyes are
I've got a
not.
15 passive.
She has rather than like say having normal human eyes, this is a human. They're snake eyes. And she sits herself down. She looks kind of nervous, but she just like kind of leans in. And I kind of just wanted to just to come out and have fun like people do. She kind of like cleaning underneath her fingernails and fidgeting as she is.
I mean, if you want, maybe you should go to those guys performing. I'm sure they're having fun.
There's too many people around them right now. I wouldn't.
Don't worry, Bluebird. I've got this. You want fun? You've come to the right place.
You really have.
Let me go get you a drink. I go and get the get me not.
A whole webcam field of winces.
And just the DM just going.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go buy a forget me not.
Okay.
Word to the
I'm
wise, I
going
wouldn't
to,
do anything that may.
In primordial,
Okay.
I'm going to kind of look at Kika and go, she has weird eyes for a human.
Yeah, Kika.
I look at
Or
Winnie.
Orin is
Yeah.
technically part of Primordial, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically trying to get some of this shit out. Just
This is like a dialect. Of,
Yeah.
It's a dialect of. It's an accent, shall we say?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we've seen Stranger Things, but I did notice.
Good show.
I look to Wittick and he come and go, what do you mean about her eyes? What's wrong with them?
That wasn't. Oh, of course.
Yeah, he does speak.
I forgot.
Yeah, he speaks primordial too. I know.
But you were at the bar while they were talking, and you definitely
damn.
wouldn't have heard it.
Exactly.
Over the 15 or so
Why I
people.
did it then?
Okay, that's fine then.
And King, you insisted that this woman shouldn't drink anything that is put in front of her by Serenus.
Yes.
Well, I mean, what do people kind of do when they like? I know people go to taverns and they have fun, and
Yeah, sometimes it's
then they
better to
come
stay.
back, but they're wobbly. Yeah.
I mean, you're asking the wrong person because I don't really know either. I'm just I'm mainly here because all my friends are here, but I don't generally come to this kind of place. I don't like crowds or loud noises.
What's your name?
Revelment takes many forms. Some engage in games of chance, some imbibe an alcoholic beverage in order to get inebriated and forget their troubles of the day. Some sing and dance, or just listen and watch to such things, or simply chat with compatriots.
I'm sorry, I haven't had my partner. What is all your names?
Forgive me, how rude. My name is Kim. Lahessus and Atropos, as I point out my three maids.
Okay, a pleasure. My name is Lucretia, and she just like
Pleasure to
only
meet you.
she only slightly pulls back the hood a little bit. You can just see this kid's like 15.
I was about to. Yeah, I was about to go like, wait a minute. Is she old enough to be drinking?
Does your mother
Yeah, that's what I
know?
figured.
Is anybody in our party? Let's be real.
Technically, I'm a robot, so it doesn't
there's
affect
no laws
me.
in this world against underage people being in a tavern. They're just not allowed to drink, correct?
I believe it's
Depends on the race, but usually, yeah.
I think it depends on the drink as well.
You did answer my question.
It depends on the tavern as well.
Yeah.
Depends on the
Are they allowed
taverns.
in the tavern?
It depends on where you are. Like if you're in a big proper city like Neverwinter, depends on what's being served. Depends on how shady the place is, whether or not they'll serve you.
I can only imagine. Oh God.
It's sort of the thing of in medieval times it would have very, very low alcohol beer and mead. But this is me overthinking about something which is actually quite simple, but it just depends on the tavern.
I honestly think though that you know how like some places they're like you have to be over, you know, if your birthday is past this date, you know, you're good to drink here. I can only imagine the fucking list for every single race. Just all right, if you're Eric Cochra past the age of 5, you can drink here.
Actually, about 4 is usually good enough for him.
Yeah. But you know, basically that's what I imagine is just like
If you're an elf and you can walk, you're good.
Yeah.
If you're half
a dwarf and you have a bit of hair, you're good.
If you're a
if you're a half orc at this age, you're good, unless the other half is elf, in which case.
They have a whole separate one for half orc and half human, half orc and half elf, half orc and half.
Yeah,
It's basically just a book that like the innkeeper keeps under the desk and is like, hang on a sec, bang.
What are you?
Sorry,
File
my
of facts.
brain just immediately.
I mean,
my brain just
Sarah
immediately
does have a large
went
ledger.
to
And she's
Anyway,
got little
tangent.
glasses on it. She's flicking through.
Yeah, sorry.
But a funny tangent.
So eventually, you return back and you put this drink in front of her, and she just sniffs it. And you know that kind of like you ever see the gif of a dog sniffing a lemon, and it's just the entire face goes. "Nyeh."
I use Mage Hand to pull the drink back and switch it with my own drink. Now tell
Wow.
me, Serenus, if I was to drink this, what would happen to me?
Nothing. See, watch. Pass it here. Take it off of him. See, it's nothing. Watch.
Make a Constitution saving throw. He rolls for drink.
Of course, he's fine.
Oh God.
You feel fine. It's got kind of this like tanginess to the back of your throat after it, like.
See, it's fine. Look, A, B, C. You know, see my finger. I now start just saying something in Dwarvish, just randomly. Can still do everything.
Hey, make a Constitution saving throw again. You have a moment where, like, you're going, see, it's perfectly fine, and then your eyes just blacken over briefly before they just go back to normal, and it's like, you're just blinking profusely. That was definitely not in the drink.
Yeah, you definitely seem fine.
I mean, he's still standing. He's perfectly of your senses. You seem fine. You feel fine.
Just as well, Serenus, if you had offered an alcoholic beverage to an underage lass, I would have had to report you to the guards.
Please don't call the guards or anything, please. If that's okay, please don't.
You've upset them, King. Look what you've done.
No crime actually managed to get committed under my watch, so it's fine.
Thank you, Miss King.
But pray tell, why are you concerned about the guard? I hope the residents here do not have some predisposition against people of your ilk.
Oh, well, it's not anything of my ilk. It's just that, well, I kind of just don't want the guards to know that I'm here. I know that does that sound bad? That probably sounds bad.
I mean, it probably wasn't meant to. But everybody knows loads of people, so it's okay.
Yeah,
Also-
I really... Fun?
I'll raise my hand to her and go, Wittick the Reforged. At your service.
She's just like very thin, like dainty little hands. You can even like look at the palms. There isn't a callus in sight. This girl's probably the heaviest thing this girl's probably lifted was a book. And she just like reaches out, and your hand just kind of does like the whole like grasp over thing of just, and her hand is gone.
Yeah.
Lucretia, it's a pleasure. Take the Reforged. Thank you.
Is Loyalty on the table with us?
Currently, no. He's still at the stage, dancing his ass off.
I'm going to walk over and go, Loyalty! Loyalty!
The feet are still going, but he's leaning halfway down, like doing a 90-degree bend with waist.
Yes, big guy. Yes, big guy.
Right. And then
Hurry up,
pull out
hurry
just a
up,
piece
hurry
of
up.
paper that I just have on me somewhere. Right, so sing this. I've been working on it since the last time we were drinking.
I don't sing. I don't
I
sing.
want to sing for you then.
You give it to the bird,
Where's
and then
the
he
bird?
decides. All right. And
The
he's
bird
going
is
to
just
go
behind you,
prepare
just
it.
strumming and shaking his head. Just
Hey,
Not doing
sing
it.
this, yeah?
You
No.
dance. I'll sing.
We don't do requests. Off the stage.
No.
He just
Next
watches
part.
like he just reaches down with
Next
like the
part.
bird talent at a mug and just rolls it at you.
Look, that's just next time, all right? Next time when we go to, I'll have a look. We'll have a look. We'll choreograph something, okay? I'm going now because I'm missing my crescendo, all right?
Okay.
You were still dancing. You were just leaned over to the side and he just to do this.
And then as I'm walking away, I'm just humming.
Shut the fuck up. I hate you.
Implying that song doesn't already exist in this world and that
no,
Punk has
no,
not
no.
already made it.
Do not worry, Das. I've come up with lyrics for it that are relevant to our party, yet I will not reveal until I can sing them properly. All I will say is, you can briefly hear me. Pour a drink for your Warforged.
He says pour a drink for the one guy who doesn't need to drink. Meanwhile, the Warforged is in the corner having a crisis of faith, going, I'll just kill him. Just one. Just give me one kill. I'll use it well. Just him, I promise.
I'm gonna get more drinks.
I mean, it's a storm giant god. He should be fine with one or two. It's fine.
One murder's okay when it comes.
Yeah, it's fine.
I presume you stepped on him, it's okay.
As a treat.
So
You know,
have I
once every
noticed,
a few hundred years, it's fine.
Wow!
Oh, heroes of the next generation!
Fucking A.
Bunch of introverts, two people who shouldn't be extroverts, and the rest that are just doing their best.
And the moral backbone is
as to which King is in that.
Yes. King has the one brain cell, she's the wizard.
Yep.
I'm arguably the youngest here, yet I have the highest intelligence. Youngest being a relative term.
I was gonna say,
Youngest is
arguably,
very relative.
I don't know how old this flesh is.
True.
Just I
How
personally
old
haven't
is
been
this
around for long.
flesh?
How long?
That's
How,
the most elder
how-
god fucking
I
shit.
know. How long have you spiritually existed?
Oh, that's an
few
entirely
months.
different
1,000
story.
years with this fucking party.
Character, a few months.
Wow, that's very recent.
Anyway, does my character notice our new friend's state of hand?
In that their hands are very, like, unblemished, shall we say? Yes.
Indeed. I do?
Yes.
Okay. I just sort of give a knowing nod.
She doesn't know what this knowing nod is for and is not trying not to make eye contact with you because it's weird. It feels like she's only really getting stared to by one real eye off of you, and it's kind of discerning her because really only one of your eyes more or less works. The other one does, but meh.
Not as well, yeah.
Get to sleep.
But,
Just enough to get you out of depth perception.
That would be fun.
Spook found it funny.
Also, how do you spell her name?
You wrote it down in the thing.
Did he?
Did I post it?
Nope.
No.
No, I did others. Hang on, I'll get her.
Mainly that way I can remember how to actually
Don't get
say
her-
it.
Don't get her
correctly.
last name
I'm
game.
gonna take a guess.
Wow.
Hey! The Adventure Zone!
She's not even here!
Thanks, Dad.
But yeah,
Thanks,
because
Taz.
it is
Lucretia.
Lucretia. Okay. Lucretia, your hands seem very not well used. Are you part of a noble family or something? And,
I wouldn't know anything about that. No, make an insight check.
Sweet.
Insight check. Insight check.
11. Oh.
Dice are being rolled.
That's what's very loud.
She is lying.
Okay, so she is part of some sort of family, noble family, in terms of she does not work or anything like that. Okay.
Like the moment you said, no, like you could tell by like as she said noble family, her eyes just went wide, which is weird for the snake eyes because they just went wah. Both her eyes did a Waluigi. Wah.
God damn it.
I just pictured them. I just pictured them as cat eyes, where if a cat suddenly starts getting interested by something, the pupils
They basically
widen.
dilate.
Yeah.
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 Kind of like that, but you know, kind of got more the snaky green hue.
Yeah.
No, I don't. No, just like tries like she cups the drink, but she doesn't like. She like tries to sip it, but there's like the ooh.
Since
mean-
you've come here for revelry, would you fancy a game of chess or cards?
Oh, chess, definitely. Yes, definitely chess. Yes. Yes.
Aww.
And you can actually see like her
Chat
eyes almost like light up for a moment, and she like. But there's a moment where like there's like 2 or 3 people like sat between you. And she's like, "Oh, do I just reach
Oh,
across?"
it's you
or...
can. I can move. I don't mind watching. I play. King is very good at chess.
Your feathers are beautiful.
Fluffs up. Embarrassed. Oh.
She does that. It's a nervous tick in a sense.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean
No, I'm
to.
sorry. I didn't want to. I didn't mean to scare you. Sorry.
It's me.
It's an automatic reaction.
Oh, dang.
I can't do it. So...
They're both apologizing to each other. And
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
God, Miura.
You guys know the my voice is higher than your voice thing, where the 2 recordings. They're doing that just like they're literally going into like they're going into villager voice.
I love this Animal Crossing game.
Fuck off their sparks. Sparks the dragonfly, okay.
Sorry.
Oh Jesus
Before,
Christ!
before,
Never do that again.
I've played that game a lot.
before there's any need for anyone to move or anything, the maids pull out my chair and replace it.
Lift
so
you
it's,
up, move you.
no, I get off the chair. I don't just sit there. Not quite so lazy.
I
But,
can imagine the mage just kind of like do like the Tetris thing of just just kind of
What you
moving the
don't know is
seats.
under those robes, each one of them has a 6-pack from lifting him so
Yeah,
many
right.
times. Built.
Say that. You remember how much I weigh?
Yeah, you weigh fucking nothing.
Yeah, but a lot of repetitions. That,
Oh, come on.
I
works.
weigh 80 pounds.
You do it slowly, it's just the same.
Yeah. I've been trying both
Between
those
three
methods,
people.
and well,
Jim memes. Stop.
Anything. Apart from flashbulbs.
nice. So
That's just from working in a warehouse.
that's from fighting depression.
That's from chicken nuggets.
Fuck off.
They haven't that many
Anyway.
chicken nuggets.
Anyway.
Nemo, make a chest check.
A chest check.
Chest check.
Chest check.
A check for chest.
Along with the dash action.
Nope.
Ooh. That was
No
a
reason to have
That's the
advantage.
third one.
Jesus.
Well, your total does not beat her total, but not by much. You can tell like there's a moment of it's less of a case of the game is like a challenge between you both, and it's more like a bunch of people are starting to get more rowdy, the people that are standing up, and every now and again they knock a piece or something, you're both trying to like remember where it was. After like, you know, you have this you're trying to play chess and 2 or 3 more drunkards like just kind of stumble into you. That half elf from the front just gets up again. For fuck's sake, would you let the two play a game? And you just watch it. She just kicks, and 3 people just roll after getting kicked. And she just grabs by ankles and starts dragging people out the door. Out the fuck!
Ah, I see. This is a very good establishment.
She is simultaneously one of the proprietors and the bouncer.
Yeah, I guess we know who's in charge here.
Yes.
And as she steps over, my darlings, were you okay? I hope that wasn't anything to disturb you. And you notice that the young lady has her hood up the whole time, but doesn't make eye contact when, like, her head low when the proprietor comes over. Anyway, I apologize again. If any of them do anything else, you let me know. I break their jaw.
No,
And she's like,
don't. No. That's okay.
It's fine, that won't be necessary.
Oh, darling, in the city it sometimes gets necessary. Sometimes it isn't. But you gotta keep the men under their toes. They have to fear you at all times. Their scent, it gives me life. And she just like walks off.
Oh, I'll just go. Thank you, Miss Leokin.
She just like pats your head as you pass and it's just ding ding.
Concern.
As I'm playing...
Okay,
chess with
just like the
myself,
eyes roll for a second, just... Did anything reset? No? We're good, okay. It's like a heads up display for him, just like...
I thought
Okay,
it was more like a
everything-
slots machine. Just
I just
and the
pictured
chest
it,
opens. Ding!
I just pictured it as sort of the bell that you get at a hotel reception, and then ding ding ding.
Ding ding! Where'd that... Just like, where the fuck did that noise come from me? Oh well, okay.
I've done it. Guys, I slammed the table down. I've done it. I've done it.
No.
What have you done?
I have come up. At this point, I've had like a couple. Well, people have been doing stuff. I've just been drinking and writing down on a piece of paper, just laughing to myself and like humming something and writing, not paying any attention to what's happening, and then slamming my hand and being like, right, I've done it. I've come up with
A cure for
ballad.
cancer? No.
Cancer doesn't exist in my world because fuck
I know,
cancer.
I know.
You can't for what, sorry?
You guarantee cancer got wished out at like the first 3 fucking times
Oh,
that's
yeah.
how it got used. It's
I
like, get rid of that!
I
Yep.
clear my throat and attempts to try and sing this song. Shall I do a performance check first or after?
Druid.
Resign DM sigh.
Allow me to think. We'll say that essentially I will set the DC based on how well you sing it.
Okay. But at this point, I take off my trench coat, and I get up, and I take a drink.
Like with courage. And you just see
What?
like there's a moment where the people who are playing, like Care just like goes to a dung, just stops and just looks at you. He's like, I'm not
When-
playing till he gets it, so you all better be ready.
So I grab my drink. When a drunken elf graced the lad's night out with Wittig the Warforged, along came this song. From when the Warforged spoke, a dashing young devil, his bottle of wine at his lips did they revel. They came after me with unholy intentions, broke in my nose and they blackened my eye. While the devil slurred, minced his fancy word, and so screamed the Wittig, he can't be bleeds. Pour a drink for your waffle, oh tavern of plenty, oh tavern of plenty, oh. Pour a drink for your waffle, oh tavern of plenty. I bow.
Make a performance check with advantage, because Care began to sing or began to do a tune to match you.
Polite applause.
I did give him a
Hell yeah.
9.
I will say yes, it was good, but at the same time, oh my god.
It was
Yeah.
good. It was good.
There was like people who just do begin clapping as you began like going with it further and further. Half of them not having a fucking clue about the context, but just. You see, Lucretia is also just so like, that was good. That was like nice. It's more a case of everything worked in your favor to make that a good one, but there were moments where you were slurring or stumbling a little bit, and the bards almost took offense. We just got showed up by a drunken hobo.
I then sit back down and I just slap Wittig on the back. For you, big man. All for you.
Lo just shoots you a glance that you could swear could sour milk, but he's trying to hide it in a very smug kind of way.
The bards take offence. In fact, they take the gate as well.
Sometimes I just picture King just says this just like out loud, like
Completely deadpan.
Yeah.
Yeah, deadpan.
I mean,
These
she's the same
bards
person
take
who went.
offence. In fact, they take the gates as well. I am most perturbed. Re.
You and your goddamn breeze. Oh my fucking.
I'm just gonna down my drink in just like satisfaction that went well.
That was really good, Serenus. You wrote that yourself. That's pretty good.
Bless you, Stacey.
I thank you, Bluebird. It coined in my mind. I don't know if it was between the forget-me-not or the time I was remembering being punched in the face in a broth.
You're not going to remember this performance tomorrow.
Oh no.
I'll never forget this to the day I die. And then
No, you're going to forget this tomorrow. The DC for Forget-Me-Not's 20. You rolled a 19.
Shush, it's funny.
It's
Yeah,
funny.
that's
No, I ruined your happy.
He's
I ruined your
role-playing!
happy.
Shush! Don't interrupt the role-playing!
Well then.
That was fun. See? Fun, right? Fun.
Yeah. And the door gets kicked.
That's where I thought this was going.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
About 3 or 4 guards like immediately just step in, and a lot of the blackguards and drunkards just begin to more or less like the Red Sea just part as they come in, and the Baron steps in.
Yeah.
looking about very quickly, makes his eye towards your table, and you can just see next to you guys, Lucretia's just kind of like trying to cover herself or hide herself. I'll give the girl a hope of a stealth check. We'll see if she pulls it.
Oh no.
I'll get up and
guidance.
Oh, that's actually a very good point then. Yeah.
Yeah, I do guidance on her.
That's alright.
And now let's roll for the Baron. No. She got a total of 19. He got a total of 15.
noise.
So well done. That helped. He looks about. Sorry. He looks about. Where the devil is my daughter? And she just like crouches down. But there's a moment where you guys just more or less do like the group thing of just like everything has a cloth over her in like 2 seconds flat. Even Kika gets a sense of
Wing.
Act natural.
Fluffs up like a freaking peacock.
I mean, that's actually
I
natural
always
for
look
you.
like this.
it kind of makes your body space like encompass twice its size, so you do kind of help.
It's like regular chicken, brooding chicken. Inflate.
Just like stick the inflating thing. Yes, Wittick.
I was thinking about, I was like, maybe if I get up as Wittig, go over and go, ah, Baron, lovely to see you at this tavern. Why would you be here? Or what I got, or basically in like, fuck, I'm trying to think, I still half asleep. Fucking, basically like, asking him if there was any anything else from like today in terms of like helping with take care of the shit that is outside, basically.
I'm going to imagine that a lot of what you said was in character. Oh yes. Today, how are you with today? Was the thing? Make a deception check. So you're attempting to deceive him by distracting him.
Sure.
And I'll say you kind of have advantage with the atmosphere and.
Well, I mean, if I have advantage, I'll try again.
You get higher.
What? There are no numbers.
Someone's got 20/20 vision.
Hey.
No, he's got 15 vision.
Sorry, it's been a very, very harrowing day.
You step up and you're kind of like the same, almost not the same size, but you're damn near close to the same size as Alpha from FM. You just kind of stand up, and there's a moment of just like, hello, I am in the vicinity. I am drawing all the attention to myself.
Basically. Because I would have figured as Wittig, I have enough intelligence to go, okay, this girl has no calluses on her hands. She's very cautious of everybody around her. Doesn't want the guards around. Ah, she must be a noble. And oh, hey, look, there is a noble that just came in, looking for someone.
DM.
Serenus.
How drunk am I at this point?
Oh fuck.
Oh no.
Whenever I put an authority figure in and that question gets brought up, I am only happy. I imagine you got yourself fairly sloshed.
Am I aware what's going on?
Define aware.
I mean, you sang a song and it was like, that's good.
Make a wisdom check.
Advantage or disadvantage?
Straight roll.
Really?
Yes, really.
Always perfectly timed.
My favourite ongoing meme of this campaign is just responding to Spook.
It works. It works. Serenus, like, you have this moment where, drink good. Then the door gets kicked in, and, like, you start a little bit, and it splashes in your face, like, aw, drinks in my face, that's bad. And you just hear, where the devil is my butter? and you're like looking around. As you look, you're like glancing the whole way. You can see like immediately she crouches down, Kika puffs, and Wittig just whoops up next to him. Hello, sir. How is the day? Was the day a good day?
I look back at the spots that's been hidden. I look at the Warforge. I look back. Kind of just double tap between these things for a couple of seconds.
You just watch as like very quickly you're looking back and forth, and like she just starts shaking her head. Like, no.
And then look at that. And I do look at. I'm gonna wall chap into a bear.
Oh no.
I'm doing.
I imagine Wittig standing there, like talking to him, and just hear.
I grab my hind legs and I start doing a bit of a jig.
And that was Dus's head hitting the desk.
It was just a naturally loud bitch.
Sure, Jane. As a bear, make an acrobatic.
Who's not Russian?
Russian dancing.
Okay, so it is using
Oh,
Acrobatics
Russia,
check.
with dancing.
But you're using the bear's stats for the acrobatics check.
Okay, hold on.
But no, that's probably going to be 0 for them. They're not dexterous.
Yeah.
So you just watch as like all of a sudden, like Wittig, you're behind like him, and he's like about to address like, Martin, I'm not talking about that, right? And he just like looks past you. You just hear, you just hear, Baldur's Gate, Baldur's Gate, oh, Baldur's Gate, Baldur's Gate, oh.
Oh no.
And you just see that there is a bear now behind you, dancing. The
King speaks
entire
up and says, "Mind the druid, it's just wild shape, not a real bear."
Yeah, he's a bit drunk.
You can also see that the proprietor of the tavern just throws her voice like to the other side. Leokin just goes, "Dancing bear, everyone look!" And just all stares at it. And whilst everyone is looking, Krisha just goes, like gives you a very quick hug. Thank you, bye, and just runs out the door. Yes, quite
I
like
leave
that,
in
Lou.
pursuit.
Is
Did the
everything
cat give a
okay?
startle?
No, okay.
Did the cat give a startle?
The cat isn't even here, he just dropped stuff.
Ah!
I leave in pursuit and the maids follow.
You make your way out, following her. The air is cold outside, you know, it's getting to that autumn time. God damn it, Ollie. Ah, Christ. She begins like heading her way out, and as she does, you begin taking pursuit. Does anyone else follow her? Because currently you have a bear and a warforged.
I'll follow.
Okay, you follow, and
Am I actually following her, or am I still inside?
You're
still
the distraction.
You're not even aware. You're just like bear, 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 bear. You're just like, I am being a dancing bear right now. It is.
If the bards didn't hate you, they do now. Because now you're stealing both their musical talents and their dancing talents.
You just watch as like characters goes down, reaches for the gold. There's about 20 gold in there, like 30 gold, closer to 30 by the end of the night. Say about 28 gold. He just like gives it to you, low. It's for the dancing, and you watch as he just
Is that any better?
puffs briefly, and the feathers like kind of disappear, and he disappears.
That's good then. We'll go with that.
Just like a. So as you guys are
Good idea, and I'll follow.
you step out as well, while the bear and the warforged are doing their thing into the night of dusk. As you make your way out, you can actually see that from where you are, like it's a large area, your stable's right next to it. You can see that there's about there's 3 people currently around your cart, one of which is Gregor, laughing, and they all seem to be passing a bottle between each other. One of them is this grayed, like very pale-skinned, grayed older fellow with a bit of like a very deep receded hairline, kind of a widow's peak, with these mutton chops that go down maybe halfway. Very well dressed, with a satchel over the side and several vials that are like, say, strapped onto the side of the satchel. And another fellow who is this young human looking. He's a bit bulky, with just these kind of like small scratches inside of his face, old scars, like kind of thing. And Gregor all just sat there laughing and drinking as you all begin making your way out. Lucretia just begins running immediately. Like once she gets outside, like she just like pulls up towards one of the corners and just starts breathing heavily. And King, you go out and out here, she's alone. It's very obvious it's her.
Yeah.
So King, what do you do?
I come up to her, and the maids will be flanking me to sort of guard her from sight from the street and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. And just see like she's just nervous as you all just be around her. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for him to come. I didn't think he'd get a few more hours.
Pray tell, child, are you running away simply out of whimsy, or has he harmed you in any?
No, he hasn't. He's very. He takes care of me. He makes sure that nobody touches me, no one hurts me. And by this point, Kika comes out, and after her, then Loyalty and Care is presumably somewhere. He doesn't hurt me, but it just keeps me at home. Just I never get to go outside or do anything, and
I understand.
all the old books, they say that people just decided to go outside and see things and do things and have fun, and he always said that I was special, that no one could talk to me or see me or do anything, and I just wanted to breathe.
Pray tell, is he in fact your legal guardian?
He's my father.
I see. Shall I let you in on a little secret?
She kind of just like curls up into a ball, like close to the ground, like arms around her knees as she is. She's basically like on that vibe of, I'm in so much trouble, I've been found. It's like hoping that she could have some fun, and just that fun just ripped out from underneath her. She's like, she's like, kind of just stops responding, more or less, but doesn't seem to deter you or to say an indication of stopping.
I look a little different than my appearance would suggest as well. Some would say I would not be allowed outside. But someday soon, when you're older, I suspect you will go on many adventures. For when you are an adult, he has no legal recourse to hold you.
He said I had to stay forever at home. I just didn't.
This is not true. As the law demands, when you are of age, you are free to move on as you wish.
And she just, you can tell she's on the verge of crying. And you all just begin like, interning. And it even seems like this would be on the other side of like this kind of court area outside of the thing. You see that Gregor and his two associates have taken notice of the thing, and you're all out around her. And as the Baron steps out, he just begins looking around. The older gentleman that was speaking with Gregor just steps up to him. He's like holding the satchel kind of like to this side of him, and just like walks up to him. And Wit, you can read lips, so you can tell what he's saying, but he's speaking quite hushed. Your daughter's at home asleep waiting for you. You should go check on her. I'm sure she's missing her bedtime story.
Also, Das, while I was talking to the Baron,
Yes,
I noticed his eyes.
he had normal eyes, normal human eyes.
Interesting.
Smart play, though.
Now
Thank you.
everyone's coming up with good questions.
But the Baron like has a moment of, yeah, of course she's at home. Guards, follow me. And the guards just like look confused between each other, and like almost look as if they're about to like engage in something. Gregor stands up, and they get silent. Follow the Baron.
Right, yes, sir. Gonna...
Stop dancing and wave.
The bear is going to be occupied, and I know all you have to. Where the bear will be, dancing to his heart's content.
Sure.
He might wake up on a table with several pouches of gold, like just left about him.
Yeah. So, I'm just as I said, I presume have they left now?
Yes, the Baron is now left.
So as that happens, I turn around and go.
Oh no.
And for myself, that's where I will be.
That's where you'll be. You'll have earned 40 gold just from like different pouches being dumped on top of you. You're a dancing bear that's singing.
But he won't remember where it comes from.
No, he won't.
Where did I obtain all this money?
It's like the John Mulaney skit of
Literally a John Mulaney bit about this.
waking up and it's like, I don't know where I got this money from. I don't know what services I provided.
Exchanged goods and/or services for this money.
Yeah, because I'm gonna have to head off. So no, that's it. That's where I'll relieve my character. So yeah, any fun? Do you want to say fun on my character just for tonight?
No, that's perfectly where you are. You are a dancing bear without a care.
Great.
Your arms are in the air.
And you're waving them like you just don't care.
I've already used care. You can't use care again.
Fuck!
And you're eating a pear.
Stream, I will have to see you in the air, everyone. So farewell, everyone.
Good night, you boy covered in hair.
Bye.
Good night.
Well,
Very well.
Cool, now Nemo's camera is the focus.
For me,
Yay!
There's just a void in the center.
I like how we've all agreed now that that's just my eye.
It never blinks. It never
What
blinks.
else would it be? It's one of them.
Yeah, one of them.
There's many to go around.
As the Baron just like stomps off and leaks away, the group that is still there looks about themselves, and you can just see that like older human looks towards all of you guys. It just gives like a wink before stepping back to just like a very quick sly wink before stepping back to Gregor and reaching back for his own bottle that he seems to have provided, and takes a swig from it.
Can I see Posey around anywhere?
Make a perception check.
I had the same idea. I was like, okay, there's Kika. Where is he?
Make a actually, Wittig, with your passive perception.
Of 15, yeah.
Yeah. You just hear something moving, and you look up, and you can just see a little bit red from the ceiling, just pulling away from the rooftop, pulling away, and in out of sight.
Interesting. I'll leave her to her devices for the time being.
Leave the introvert be.
Just people.
She's actually a vampire. People.
No, that's me, Dad.
Bullshit! I've seen you in the sun.
Fake.
Besides, vampires are more like, people, yum.
Not when there's multiple.
Depends how brave the vampire's feeling.
Some of them are very, very stupid.
Okay.
I will dive at Kirok and Narrowin at the same time. Wow!
Immediately vaporizes.
Yep.
Yeah, vampire wouldn't want me. Too much cholesterol.
Believe so.
I know.
Oh god, too much
Speaking
fiber
of
for you, by the way.
law, by requirement, harboring a runaway is against the law, so I must return you back home post-haste with a full escort. Unfortunately, I'm not too familiar with this town, so we'll probably be taking the long way round.
Oh,
The very long way round.
like just points.
You dropped shit again.
Towards the right, which would be say towards this area. The large grey stone building across the water. That's home.
Well,
I hold out my hand, my good hand, to hold hers, and I say, "Very well. I believe the quickest way to get to that building over there," and I turn around and complete the other direction, would be this way.
You turn this way.
I mean, I know a quicker way. Stop being mean to the cat. She's on my lap. I know a quicker way.
Well,
Flaps wings.
oh no, I'm terrified of heights. It just like begins like striking herself down.
That's fair. Not everybody's good with heights, but I thought I'd offer.
Thank you. It's very kind. They're all very nice. They're scary. It just like points past and to the band of misfits.
To be fair, I'm rather scary myself.
You seem quite nice.
It is a disguise, I'm afraid, to scare people, but my appearance has the habit of doing that.
You're a nice person.
So, which way did you want to go then?
No, you're right. It's the jar one.
This way, I believe. And I
You
take her
take
for a
her
midnight
along.
stroll, long way around town.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk a bit about our adventures so far.
Yeah, and she just is enamored in all of it, just eyes wide, listening the entire time. Wittick, you're with them, aren't you?
I would probably go with, just in case, you know, there are drunks on the fucking street.
Make a perception check as you go along.
Okay.
For the most of the night, you're just like behind them all, an eye out. You're a big bulky boy. You're probably enough of a deterrent just by yourself.
Right.
Eventually, like after a period of time, Kika, you can just feel like the back, like two of your back feathers are being like played with, and you look back and there's no one there, and it's just like hey, as Care comes back in.
I know you're there.
I know you know I'm there, but did you know that I knew that you knew that I was?
Well, did you know that I know also how to do that?
Yes,
Yeah.
but the difference is I can see you, and he just like gets you with a nuggie. Like can't go visible now. I still got you in a nuggie, which is weird. He's not using his wings to fly, but he still got you in a nuggie, and he's.
Interesting.
So with the bard entourage,
Siblings.
with the bard entourage, with a Warford bodyguard, with a king and their court, you eventually make your way back towards the Baron's home, taking a long,
Just as we're
stroll.
Just we're arriving up the street, I'll say, perhaps would you be interested in being pen pals?
Oh, I suppose.
Oh my god.
What is a pen pal?
Friends who write to each other.
Oh,
I'll
I'm
be
very
sure
good
to
at
write to
writing.
you of our various
No,
adventures.
just Java.
And maybe if you ever come back around, I don't know if you're going anywhere. We could play chess again. Maybe we won't have anyone interrupt us this time.
If you can. Why is that?
That would be most delightful.
And she's just like smiling towards you. She's kept her hood up the whole time. And it's just, thank you very much, King. And she like leans in for a hug as you guys get to
Oh.
I'll be sure to. It'd probably be easier if you send me the first letters where you'll be, and then I'll know how to reply to you. And if you're still in that town by that point, maybe.
We'll find a way.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you do have Cat. Cat could always go back and forth.
Engineer.
Question sticks its head out at the hear of its noise from the little nest it's made inside my.
Keep it on your chest.
Yes, that is cat.
It's easy to see. Remember, my shape has always been that the shape of the same hollow. I've been the same shape, just made out of wood and leaves and stuff. Yes, that is cat.
That's horrifying.
My appearance
Then,
is a
like
bit
any
that way.
sensible human, begins trying to pet cat. Look, pop that as someone's chest.
It makes happy burp noise.
Go fuck yourself.
Knows how to say
Yeah,
hello.
somebody has been teaching
Hello?
my cat
Hello?
foul words.
Hello. Hi. Hello.
That stupid noise. Where do you even pick that up?
Jeep, 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 jeep.
More or less, what's happened, Nemo, is someone's unlocked Cat's tongue, and now you're in trouble. If you know what that phrase means with birds, where it's the case of, yes, parrots and crows that learn that. One day, she will order off of your Amazon Alexa 500 berries.
Yep. That happens.
Berry, 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 treat!
Best use for an Alexa, so the bird can order cat food.
I will say as well that if you give Cat a command to come back to this city, and Cat knows where they are, they'll be able to do it.
So it's a crow, so it's fairly clever.
Exactly.
You'll remember our new friend, won't you?
Hi! So if
Well,
I get a
I'm
random
afraid
crow,
the time has come to turn you in.
Phrasing.
To bed.
Bad phrasing.
Turn you into bed.
Phrasing.
I'm just looking how to do that.
And you can see out of one of the higher windows there is quilt tied to quilt, tied to quilt, tied to quilt. That's maybe 30 foot. I don't suppose I could. I know I'm sorry I said no earlier. I should have said yes, but I'm sorry. Would you please mind?
Oh, yeah, it's not a high at all. It's fine. Like, just close your eyes and we'll be there. But
Just like she does this, just like she does like the cover of the eyes, like things. And then like as you lift her, her legs are still kicking, like the dog out of the pool, kind of. It's like I don't know what to do.
King, meanwhile, says, "Oh no, I cannot allow this," and makes a vague gesture with her arm, like Daria trying to get the ball.
And you like lift her up and you just in, and quills get pulled up by her. Then very quickly.
Meanwhile, I ring the bell at the gate.
Yes, because the gate has a bell.
ding,
Ding dong!
Yeah, at the front door, you just hear ding dong. But it sounds like a person who has just said ding dong.
It's usually a rope with a bell, not a doorbell.
I know, we're
Where-
taking the piss.
I know, but I'm picturing that there is a rope that is just tied to a gnome, and he just gets wedgie. He just goes ding dong.
It's a living.
Bitch beat me to it. Caught me between breaths. So you get her in. She pulls up the quilt. Somebody goes to the door and opens it, but in there goes to the door.
No, I'm here. I'm waiting at the
Oh, you're
door.
waiting at the door. Okay, so that changes things. You see, this older dragonborn, black, and their scales have begun to gray. You can just see like the skin almost like under the eyes, like the portion where it is scaled, it isn't just like very heavily like lined and sagged. And yes, might I assist you?
Yes, I believe I have found the runaway daughter of this house. Of course, before I can return her, I would need to make sure that I am in fact returning her to a legal guardian. Of course, with somebody of the Baron standing, it will be no trouble to produce a birth certificate or certificate of adoption.
The Baron has turned in for the night, but I can't confirm that this is her daughter Lucretia, correct?
That is correct.
light blonde hair, eyes are unique, still beautiful.
Perhaps. However, I will need to find certificates of such a thing. Legalities and whatnot. I cannot simply return an underage child to the wrong person.
Well, I would go and collect those, but the hour is quite late, and the Baron is in his bed, and his desk is next to his bed. As you can
Well,
ask
with that in mind, I assume there would be no trouble to me holding on to her until such certificate could be produced.
Good. No, please. Make a
Just
persuasion
go
check.
watch a YouTube video for a time being.
Persuasion.
Yes.
There we go.
Dang.
There are no numbers.
There are no other numbers.
As like the Dragonborn, this older fellow just like has that moment of he like leans close towards you. Listen, and he has to hunch himself down to get to your height. Yes, I assisted her leaving tonight. The Baron went out looking for her. I tried to distract him, but he went out in a flurry and then returned later saying that his was in bed waiting for him, and he immediately went to his own bed to sleep. If she's out there, just please let her come in. I can't get her paperwork for her right now, but I knew that she really needed this night. Just between you and me, please, not towards another soul, but I cannot get that for you. You can trust me. She is the lady soon to be Baroness once she is of proper age.
Insight check on that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I could feel one approaching. I'm like, an insight check approaches.
Not good at those.
I like how you just went boom. You can just tell that this is a gentleman this is a greeter, this is a butler, this is a manservant. A person who often has to talk well, has to choose words carefully. He's not doing that in this case. He's being quite blunt and sincere. And he's like trying to look past you and looking out to see if he can spot her outside.
Very well, I see no harm in returning her to your care then. But I will have to pursue this matter on her certificate. I will simply go to the proper registry. Your name, nor hers, nor anybody else's need to pop up on such a regard.
The registry was at the town hall, and he just like points out, but it won't be open until 8 in the morning, very, very earliest, but...
Be the first through the door. And she just bows.
He
and walks
points
away.
down, and it's this large building here.
I go back to the inn for now.
He went, well, wait, where is she? Where is she?
I'll walk up and go.
In her room, of course. Just as you request.
She's already there.
And he just like has that moment of sighing. I shall get her tea to her then. And he just like closes the door and just dashes up. But you can tell like there's a moment of like him very quickly dashing up before rushing back down and opening the door again. And as you're like almost like 3 steps out, he comes back down, shoulder back. Okay, yes, she is there. Thank you. And have a pleasant evening.
I'll walk up as he comes back down the second time. I'm sorry for my friend. She is very
particular,
lawful in her way.
Yeah, she's quite particular. That is a respectable way to be, but for young ones, they need a moment of revelry.
Yes.
She didn't get up to much, did she?
No, actually, she had a game of chess with my friend there. A few drunkards, nothing.
Oh no.
Nothing that she had any dealt with. The tavern owner, Leo Ken, dealt with them.
You went to the fishmonger and the gladiator. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, well, at least I knew she would be in good care. And had anyone had seen her, they would have been able to take care of her for the time. Those two Retired adventurers are quite respected here.
Yes. But, yes, she was in
Sorry,
very
Master,
good hands.
What is your name?
Whittick the Reforged, and I'll reach a hand out.
I am Master Sword of the house. I am the butler and the manservant of the Barrel Carl Tucker. And I thank you very much for getting her back safe. I am very pleased that she had a pleasant night, and I will get her tea ready. Do take care.
As do you.
Pleasantinize yourself. And he just like waves to you. The door gets closed, and you can just hear like 16 locks.
And off back to the tavern.
Okay.
With, I'm guessing, Kika and...
Co and Co.
She
Yeah.
appears out of the night sky. Blends in very well.
King will say, I do have to check whether or not he is actually a proper guardian of her. His insistence on keeping her inside all the time has me concerned that...
Some parents are just very protective.
Understandable.
Yeah,
but say she is in fact kidnapped from somewhere else and being held for some other reason, it's something I must get to the bottom of.
It's sweet that you're concerned.
Fortunate truth, however, is that if she is his legal progeny, he has the right to hold her until she is of proper age.
You have a way of phrasing things that make them sound so ominous.
Yes,
Yeah, I agree with
she
that.
does.
Forgive me, that was meant to be light-hearted. My tone is somewhat
No! I'm fighting someone else! Fuck off!
Not now, God.
Housekeeping!
No!
New character, Cthulhu, who dis?
Shit, you got the joke before me. I just picked up my phone.
King, I need to teach you the very, very specific art of subtlety, especially in terms of being like light-heartedness.
Would it help lighten the mood if I was to tell a joke?
Yeah? Jokes are good. Everyone braces themselves.
King just gets a pen and paper ready.
Poet, who was struggling with his rhymes, asked his apprentice, "What rhymes with orange?" To which his apprentice said, "No, it does not."
So I missed that entirely.
God damn it.
You're glad you did.
Okay.
What rhymes with orange? No, it doesn't.
She physically brings her hand up to the side of her face and pulls her lip a little bit in a sort of attempted smile.
The part where like the flesh kind of just sags back down.
Kayak,
I'm taking that. I'm using it. I don't care. I'm using it.
we got a lot of work to do.
Look, we need to get them in for improv. Clearly.
Clearly.
The fucking bear. The fucking bear.
I know, right?
Being that I have facial numbness, I may be best as what you call the straight man.
Woman.
Thank you, Bluebird.
Well, being that it is very late for all of us, I believe once we get back to the tavern, it's time for bed for all of you. And me and King shall be playing chess all night.
I might have to have my sit down early since we hope to be at the registry first thing in the morning. Down, she just sits down and just sort of phases out for 4 hours.
Everyone okay? Is everyone here?
Yo.
As we get back to the tavern, I'm going to look at the roof if there's a certain person.
Before you get back, seems like Kika's got a thing.
I think I hear something. Which always bodes so well.
Where is it?
I don't know. They should make perception checks.
I'm making a perception check. Because I'm so good at perception on this character. I love it when I can hear things but my character can't.
I was quite busy being in a most jovial
Humorous mood.
from my jokings.
Wittick, it sounds like you hear a commotion. As you're like coming close towards one of the
Okay, is it up?
so you're getting close towards this bridge here. As you're getting close towards, you begin hearing sounds like from a distance a commotion. Multiple voices.
Okay.
Anyone in the immediate vicinity. Sounds like it's coming more towards, say, some of the corners by some of the buildings, perhaps.
Or I'll go ahead and check it out as we're kind of walking back.
Okay, you have
Careful.
to double back. You just begin walking over, and as you do, you just begin hearing. And you could begin hearing dragging. As you look down like one of the alleyways, you can see 3 figures with hoods up. They have a woman with them who has blood trickling down the side of her face, whilst one of them is putting away a bludgeon, like one of those kind of like a sandbag, almost kind of hand weapon.
Extended via the bottom.
Right.
It's putting it away. They look towards you, seeing you approaching as they're trying.
Well,
to
yeah, because I'm not stealthy. I'm like.
You step in the hallway and you're Alphonse. They see you, drop her, and run.
Basically, it's like that idea of just like the robot from like RoboCop just coming up and scanning.
Ting.
Do I see this since I'll be with him?
I'll run over to her.
You rush down to her, and I'll say by the time you turn the corner, you can just see like the last cloak just like turning the corner and running.
I'll tell the maids to go retrieve the guards, and I'll rush up to.
Okay.
Fly on over very quickly.
I'll check her out, make sure. I'm probably sure she's unconscious, but.
She is out cold. Her breathing is very shallow, and you can just see Care flies over the roofs, and is like almost like kind of where you can go up and just go straight across the corner of the building, and just begins looking down, and you can just hear him shouting out down towards him. I see you! Hey!
Kayak!
Falls off the roof.
I'm in the dark. I'm in the dark.
Kayak, it's okay, Kayak!
And there's a spider. Oh,
Just like punches the side of a wall. You can just see there's a bolt in his chest and there's a bolt in his stomach.
I'll kneel down to the girl since she's actually unconscious, and I'll put my hand to my what currently looks like a mossy heart.
Yeah.
And then draw it towards her as I cast life transference.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, you're
Okay,
above me.
so you take 15 points of damage, and they heal.
Okay.
Or twice that.
Nice.
30.
Yeah, I just can't
So
get there.
this is a commoner, but she's right now feeling healthier than she probably ever has. As she just immediately almost like, hang on, defib, boom, just like her entire body almost jolts up, and just and she like pulls herself, like almost tries to pull herself away from you guys. There's still blood going down the side of her face. That part hasn't healed, but she's conscious again of her senses.
Ma'am, calm down.
Kika, as you see Carrick is down, and he just like begins trying to yank out the bolt from his chest, you can just already like underneath the feather, there's like just black pouring out around it. Just
Okay, be careful, please be careful. Let someone help you. Let Wittick's right just here. Let him help you, please. Just be careful.
Yo, I can help. Dude. Does my throat hurt?
He's just snarling and snapping at you guys. Carrick's on 10.
Oh, Jesus. Kika like takes his face in his beak and she's like, okay, it's fine. Just Wittick's here. Wittick can help. It's okay.
Yeah,
he knows what to do.
Can I run over towards?
You're there as well, yeah. Lo, you're there.
Okay, so I presume we haven't had a rest yet.
No, you have not had a rest yet.
But
I'll give him a cure wounds and
never mind then.
help with getting the bolts out.
Yeah, I'll say make a medicine. He did not take out the first one properly, and that hurt. So you can have advantage on that. So roll again, because you've already got at least low helping.
There we go.
Oof.
You just watch as he just takes out like a short blade, like a very small blade, and just begins like moving flesh, like it's painful, and he just has to take something, like he just grabs something off the ground and just puts it between his beak, and as he does, you can just see like it's like a piece of metal or a bit of rod, and it just bends in his beak, just literally bends, like proper fucking like.
Also, I would figure it'd be basically like a small scalpel comes out one of the fingers. Just careful,
and just lifting it as he's just you kick it, and this is the hardest you've ever squeezed you, but this isn't the pain, and the bolt gets taken out. Poison is still in his body though.
Yes, I don't.
Oh, why did we leave Runara behind?
They went.
Shh. Okay, it's fine. It doesn't matter. Just they can go. We can deal with them later. You have to get better.
Dude, breathe. Breathe. Remember the 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Would I be able to use my alchemist supplies to make a antidote?
I mean, you're a paladin and you have
lay on hands.
I don't have any lay on hands.
Oh shit! This is the same day. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's the same day.
That's why I can't. That's why I was like.
Okay. Sorry. You wanted to use which for?
My alchemist supply. Basically, try to do a quick antidote.
Yeah, I'll say you could do that. Sure. You're just like trying to put 2 or 3 things together to see.
Yeah. What would you think?
Did I leave those?
Would I put it in as like intelligence?
Intelligence, I'd say, yeah.
All right. Ooh, that's an 8. No.
Doesn't feel like it's going to do him any good. I have to roll something for care.
Yeah.
Good. Better.
Guidance.
Okay. Oh, that actually don't matter.
Yeah.
4. So he has a total of wisdom checks. Kiki, you can just see that like his sides flare up, and he just like his feathers begin puffing out, and he just gets really aggravated. But you're keeping him calm, and he just like begins calming himself down. His heart rate starts slowing. The poison starts to get like it doesn't spread as quick, or it doesn't do as much raw damage as it probably would do. Wittick, with what you have, something that's going to be temporary, but it's not going to do anything massive.
Yeah, it's just in case. It's basically just to calm it down, to get him.
Stopgap. This will not last him maybe more than 20 minutes.
Yeah, and then I will put him on my back and get him to the tavern, to Runara.
You guys rush back to the tavern. At this point,
and as well as, kind of ushering the woman that was behind it.
Yeah, with the woman, it's like, let's take you to the guards, shall we?
The guards have actually already arrived as this is happening. The maids have come back with them, and you have Kayak on your back, Wittick, and the to them. King, you quickly explain to them everything that's happened while Wittick just runs with Kayak. And you guys just rush back to the tavern, and You make your way back, and Kika, you're right next to him the whole time, holding his hand.
Oh, she's in like tears at this point.
Yeah. He's not looking very strong. Not looking good.
We're slightly apart.
Whatever this was not nice. And as you get back to the tavern, you can already see Gregor and his friends are still inside as you're rushing. As those two pass, and he sees you with tears, like there's an immediate instinct on him, and he just kicks up immediately, grabs the friend that had talked to the Baron, and the other fellow just gets up as well with them. They both begin looking towards you as you guys rush in. Runara, are you still up?
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on Serenus, making sure he doesn't get himself killed.
He is passed out with a lot of gold about him on a table as a human.
I'll just be there sort of collecting the gold for him, putting it in a bag.
As you hear "Ugh," as the door gets kicked open, and anyone who is like half asleep wake.
Runara!
Firecracker!
Runara!
Firecracker, we need you!
What's happened?
Chaos
You
hurt,
can see-
really badly hurt.
Whittaker's
It's
just
the
like,
bird boy! Get over here!
like
Alright. Let's clear a
you
table.
see like
Someone
one of the
table.
girls, one of the owners of the tavern just like sees this going on and just grabs, move yourself, John, and just grabs John and just throws him, moving half the gear off of a table, clearing it for you guys. Get some stuff from the back.
What happened?
Some hooded figures were attacking a woman. They ran off. Carrick tried to fly after him, and he then got struck with 2 bolts. Apparently, there is poison in his system.
Oh dear.
Gregor
I-
Stone's in behind you as well, and he has that figure with him. One of the people, the one with the satchel, looking over down, like he's looking like up past you guys. He's like maybe like 5'9", he's over some of your shoulders. That's what's happened. Move out of my way, please, immediately. Immediately, move. Sorry, my darling.
We
And he
heard
just,
him!
like,
We heard him!
I'm already
Just take
getting
the
some like.
satchel. He takes the satchel off and just looks towards the ladies at the back. Laconian,
No, hang on.
get the triple.
Well, I found a house.
And he just like points up at there's a cask that's left like above everything on the actual bar. It's like above it. Definitely, you're there. And she just like looks up and she like does 3 steps up until she gets lifted up by her wife. Sharag lifts her up and they take down the triple, as they're calling it, and opens it up, and it's a sweet smelling Bugman's for anyone from the previous campaign. might know.
We're familiar.
He takes it over and he like, okay, has anyone tried to heal him?
I've tried giving him a bit of a cure wounds.
Okay, that probably did more damage than it was worth. This needs to get removed first before anything can get applied to him. And he just begins taking out things from like a satchel. He opens up and he just spreads it out into like a full doctor's bag.
Renara, is there anything you can do?
I mean, I can do if it's been poisoned, I can help.
If you can remove poison, that would be great because
Okay.
this is a magical one and this will help nullify it.
I'll hold my hand on his wounds and hold my holy symbol and mutter a few words in Celestial, and then cast Lesser Restoration.
That will help him.
Just gonna close that door.
If Kika will let me,
Public,
Lo,
Did you go back in?
Yeah.
Lo will try and sort of hold an arm around her as if to comfort her.
Oh yeah,
Or
she'll, yeah. She's in pieces, so.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not
You know,
gonna-
it's getting consent.
No.
His back's like arching on the table as he's just like shouting out in pain. Like 1 or 2 of you try to like put your hands up. The character just like, poofs you off with it. Just, "Ugh." Gregor just whoop,
Stand Jay.
holds him down.
Take this.
And
pass it.
it's a case of hang on, little buddy. This fellow begins working,
Things the old-fashioned way.
and someone keep talking with him. Keeping him awake is very important. It hurts like hell, but it's very important. Somebody talk to him.
KX, stay with me, it's okay, we're getting it sorted. You're gonna be fine, it's gonna be fine.
Come on.
Everybody is here.
Come on, my bro. Come on, my bro. Come
Everybody's
on,
here,
you
it's
got
gonna be
this.
okay, it's fine.
You got this.
You just watch as like this fellow,
got
like he's got
this.
some nails that are almost like extended out like 2 or 3 inches, and he just literally reaches into one. There you are, you. And he just begins pulling, and the broken head of the bolt that came off takes it out and drops it down. The other one. These are a nasty, nasty. Huh. Those got banned. Okay. And he just begins cracking his knuckles, bites his finger a little bit of blood comes out, and he takes the blood onto his hand and like almost like crinkles it in, reaching out for some things, and just begins chewing something into his mouth like a little. And with the works, with your lesser restoration as well, the after maybe like 10 minutes, 10 tense minutes, character just like begins to like lie back down on the table, and his heart rate is slow and low, but alive. He's okay. And wiping his brow, he goes, "Whew. Did not expect to have to work drunk, but he's okay. Where on earth," and like he's looking around to all of you, "where on earth did you find somebody using these?"
Here in this town.
Your guess is as good as mine. We heard a commotion and we ran over to help. Then our good boy Kayak here tried to chase the assailants down and
got those first trouble. Okay, that'll happen. That's unfortunate. Ever use those? I will let you know. Those are very rare. So that's somebody who literally reacted drastically. Give me an idea that would knock him on his ass for about 10 minutes, pointing at Gregor. So, good news, he's stable. Bad news, he's staying this way, not in this particular chair I imagine you got for him. Get him up, get him down. He's lying, and if he's one of those people that says he's fine after a day, you keep him there, because he needs to stay there.
Kika, your job.
And I am going to have to talk to the Baron tomorrow, because apparently his guards aren't as good as he says at killing off gangs. Broken tip bolts from the Broken Bolt gang, because they like to leave presents in people, because they're those kind of absolute nightmares. Make me a mint, but I don't like having business.
Remove your inventories.
Well, I thank you for your help, sir. What is your name?
My name is Quentin von Krieger Muselpitz.
Gesundheit.
Right.
Put that in the chat.
Quentin. I got Quentin. I'm calling you Quentin. Or do you mind Q?
You can call me Q, but I'm not that Q. But it is my pleasure. And he does like this long bow with the arms stretched out to the side. One leg like crosses over the other as it does. Well,
I'll go ahead and lift him up and take him up
somebody
to.
else, get him up into bed, get him comfortable, and do it quickly, please.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and get about doing that.
He looks towards you, Kika, who is just in absolute bits, and he looks at you for a minute until he eventually makes eye contact with you. Make a charisma saving throw.
Okay. Calm emotion.
Probably, actually, yeah. She's not coping very well.
No, that means you are now very calm.
He just like looks at you and like, did you make with him? He doesn't like say an incantation. His finger atop your. You're okay. He's fine. He's fine. And you're breathing after like a minute, just slow and just. He's fine. He's okay. Just needs a nap, which I think you do too. So.
Bye, Lo.
Gregor? And he just like reaches over and just grabs the bottle and just yanks it back. Don't try to take sips when I'm not looking, because I am looking and this is mine. And as this has happened as well, you can just see like a topped, it's weird, it's a tankard that's got like a sealed top to it. And is like left over by Lithuanian.
So it's a vacuum sealed tankard.
Tomorrow morning, very first thing he is to drink that. It'll take several goes, especially with that beak. but he will need it, and he will need to a lot, but this will make him feel a lot better. That's a very particular concoction. That's a very particular development, and this bad boy. I know.
I couldn't have timed that right.
It's a very specific
A drunk pass opening the beer.
Ah.
Do you
It's a
mind
mountain
in a moment?
brew. It's a dwarven.
Fuck's sake.
Sorry, what was that, Kay?
Nothing.
So someone get that into him in the morning, and he'll feel better. But he needs at least 2 days rest, minimum. Doctor's orders. And as he's talking as well, a little bit of a higher perception, you can see this pin on his he's got like his vest, and it's like stretched out there, you know, like the way the portions come out to the sides, and just on one of them there's a
what?
There's a what?
a Harper pin.
Ah.
Mm.
I know that all too well. Mainly because of my master. Yeah.
Okay, so I do believe it is. The rest of you to all go to bed.
Sorry, dude, but is there anything more I can do?
Unless you like soothing him to sleep by singing, because he's not going to have the easiest night, but he will. It's going to not feel comfortable, but it's like passing a kidney stone right now. It's still in his system, but it's been neutralized, and it's just got to flush out now. It's not pleasant. It's a nasty one. I'm going to make inquiries, and he just grabs Gregor by the ear, and you're going to make noise because I'm going to find out who did this, and you're going to help me because I don't like this poison being used. And he's like shaking his wrist like this, talking to Gregor, and as he is, Gregor's head's just like doing this as he's talking.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that because I kind of think I saw his you know, the stomach bit. Yeah, I saw that open.
Oh, it's fine. I can annoy him. It's already bitten my head off.
Really?
Anyway.
Yeah, looking good, dude.
I know. Marvelous for my age. Right. Off to bed, the lot of you, young men.
Okay, I'm on guard duty then, I guess.
Kika's not sleeping.
Well, you're calmed now, so.
She ain't
Well,
sleeping.
it'll be a case of Wittek's going to be in the room, you know, basically watching.
There's like staring at him, going, "Are you dead yet? Would you like this ale?" As you guys make your way towards the stairs as well, you eventually see sleep.
Everything okay?
No.
Posey, can I take you aside for a minute? What to go through?
I mean, I saw that. Oh, I understand that much.
Yeah. To say that Keek is coughing up feathers right now is not inaccurate. She might need you at this point.
Why?
I've invited you to a party.
It's the Kayak dude.
Yes, I understand that.
He kind of took a shink in the chest bit and the poison bit, and
I saw that. There's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately.
Oh, good news. Gregor's blood. Brilliant,
Yes,
guys.
I saw.
Q.
But
Yeah.
no.
I've been watching.
Yeah. Jesus.
Okay,
I do that. Cozy does.
It's the NPC's turn for the brain cell.
Apparently.
When it's
I've
Quentin,
had it
it's
this
always
whole time. I've just been over here.
It's just been like, is he dead yet?
Posey,
Popcorn aside, watching the drama.
just talk to Kika right now, because she needs you than I can.
The figure as well that was looking over and taking care of Care does step up, because you two are more or less like the last two at the stairs.
Warrior, I didn't realize it was
He just like
moving
walks
into
with.
one.
If either of you are going to check on him tomorrow, if he doesn't get any better,
And
he
then
just like
ticked the
reaches
box,
into his
so-
satchel, pulls out like a small card with an address on it for Dr. Von Krieg, Musel Pets practice. And now I will give you his full name, because now you.
Yeah, someone else please write that down. Jesus Christ.
That is one
I
heck
don't
of a
have
name.
space.
That is one hell of a name.
Well, maybe if some more people come on.
I recognize this name.
You're an engineer.
Vermintide? Because there was a character called Von Krieger.
No, there wasn't a Von Krieger.
Yeah. Never mind that.
You're close. You're getting like there's a few that are not being.
I see where you're getting influence from for sure.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of Germanics into it. Just like Warhammer name generator. That's good. That one.
Can't stand you with doing
I'll
this.
go back to the room.
He's like, tell like this fellow as well as he's talking to you. His eyes are just like bloodshot. He's clearly just not slept properly or something, and he's drank a lot. Perfect. Go to your rooms. I'm going to go to my own slumber, and I'll probably have a late lie-in. So,
Grass farm.
whenever.
Sounds good. Sounds really good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dancer boy, calm down.
Okay. Bed. Yeah, bed.
King
you
and the
go.
maids will also return eventually to go to sleep.
Yeah, as you like walk in, and you're just like everyone is just like departing a different direction. It's like, well, the body, so it must be good.
One thing I will say is, if I pass King on the way, I will hand her, say, 10 gold and say, look, I know you're kind of dragging me along with all of this, but I thought I might as well, pay my way and provide for the coffers,
I close a hand and just, with the gold still in it, and say, the next time we're in a town, you'll have to shout the meals in the inn. It's an honour to have you.
Thanks, ma'am. But yeah,
Ma'am?
bed.
So that's so you keep the 10 gold, so don't mark it off.
Okay. He's being a gentleman.
Control.
Gentlewoman. Come on.
No,
No, he's not
Lowe's being.
Oh.
A gentle
Uno
king.
reverse.
I thought you were talking about
No,
Kitty.
you're good.
It's all good, buddy. So you guys find your own ways to bed. Kika, you fall asleep more or less on top of or next to him.
Yeah.
With you're in the room as well as like big cousin, just like I will watch him. I will stab.
It
Anyone
would be
who
more of a case of I'm in corner,
So
waiting for time to go.
I just imagine like you're in the corner.
this thing. This
Light.
You're cutting out when you lean that far away from
Sorry.
you.
Yeah.
Damn it, Bobby. Damn it, Bobby.
filtering things.
I imagine it to be very much so a case of
So I just,
as
I
you
just wait
like if someone enters the
block
like your eyes just like
into flint.
win and it's just like
Well-
light them out.
It's a case of like
I do this.
my parking lights are on right now. It's more just they're very dim. And
Is it
then
warning
it-
light?
Yeah, and then as somebody comes in the room, high beams. What do you want?
Oh, you're that asshole. You use your. You need to take like a blindness or deafness thing just so I can just wah, turn on your high beam.
Flashback.
I'm sorry to say it. It's sorry to ask if you did mention it, Hun, but Lol will nearby. Either
You'll
in
be
the
like in the
room
next
or
room over
sitting.
because with
I'll
those
be
three already.
sitting. Yeah, I'll be sitting as close as I possibly can.
Open up your thing
probably like sitting with my back against the wall, hugging
You're
my
like,
knees.
yeah, like essentially, like what you do is you just like move the bed in your room, and you just like lie there as you do, and you just have like your head. You're like that wall, it's the wall between you two.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and drag Serenus up to her bed rather than having him sleep on the floor in the bar. So I'll throw all his money in his bag, so it's not scattered around. And I'll drag him up
Yeah.
to bed. And
It
put him
takes
in
an
a-
effort. He's a chunk, but
Just
it is
imagine
a-
Renard just boom, boom, boom.
just up the stairs by the legs, each head on every step. Bonk,
Same
bonk,
shit,
bonk.
different day.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
just another day in Faerun.
Before I put him to bed, I'll do a lesser restoration on him, and then I'll go to bed.
No.
I imagine like some of you were originally going to share rooms, but now it's been swapped out a bit. But
Yeah.
mates will have their rooms, King and everyone else is sorted. And with that, as you guys all go to bed, we'll call it there.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You'll be getting up at noon.
You shouldn't get up at all.
Care won't be getting up at all. That boy need a nap.
He just to sit down for 4 hours. The maids can sleep in.
He's fine. I wouldn't kill him off. Yeah.
Don't you kill my bro!
Don't you kill my actual bro!
Come do it.
I'm sorry, I just had a realization what with something else, but I can't reveal that yet.
You can message me though, because I always like finding it.
King can heal now.
Yeah.
Woo! I'm glad
An
someone
extra
can.
heal in a pinch.
It almost kills herself, but she can heal.
I
Don't need
took
that.
that. I took that on my dwarf cleric, and it was such a good like thing of just going shack, boom. Because I would literally inflict wounds somebody one turn, life transference onto somebody else the next, and just be like, I take this, I put it here,
The Lord taketh and the Lord giveth away.
and I am your lord.
Right, okay, well, I'll end the stream and that was the thing, I guess. Fuck.
Yep.
See you next week, guys.
Bye.
Something's rotten in Portland.
Bye.
Bye.